Okay guys, and that is the basic setup of the telescope for tonight's run. Still got a few more wires, pardon me, wires to connect. I've got to connect the computer up inside. The dew heater battery that runs that dew heater up on top to keep the lens from dewing up. But you can see why I was really hoping to get my shed, roll-off shed put in place before this winter, which probably won't happen now, but I will have it for the spring and next season. So hopefully a little later I'll be showing you some images coming in tonight going after a galaxy called NGC7331. NGC actually stands for New General Catalog. It's back in the 1700s when they were discovering these galaxies. This galaxy lies, I believe it's about 70 to 75 million light years from Earth. So we'll hopefully get some good images, and I'll show them to you a little bit later. Welcome back everyone. Jim Hannon here from Golden Stars, and this is what we call a luminous image. In other words, this is just a white light image, no filters, just a filter which we call a V-block filter on my telescope to block some of the fringing from the blue light that's a little harder for this telescope to focus. And this is a total of 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's kind of hard to see. You can see a nice extension from the center of the galaxy here down here, an arm extending up in here, and we can actually play. Let me see if I can do this while I'm holding the camera. If I move the cursor, if I can find it, where are we? There it is, over there. I mean, I can fool around with this brightness. You can just bring it up. It really, that's way too much. It allows you to see different features as you're taking the image. It has no effect on the image itself. I find I'm off. I got to get back here. It's so tough to do it. Just, see, now we can bring it back down. See, now you can see those arms starting to pop in more. Now, notice these dark marks. Those are those dust donuts that I told you about that get on the chip no matter what. No matter how much you try to clean, you're going to get them. And if I hold the camera at different angles, you can see more of the galaxy and more of those. And that's why I took those, one of the other videos, what we call flat frames, and that was with the t-shirt in the daylight near sunset. And what it does, it maps all those dust specks, and in the processing we apply that flat frame to this frame here that I've taken, this what we call luminous frame, and it zeroes out those spots, and they'll completely disappear from the image, and makes imaging much better. Right now I have a red filter in place. We just did what we call a meridian flip, where the telescope had to go from the east, pointing east, now pointed to the west side as the object just passed directly overhead. And with this type of mounting, you need to flip the mount over to go to the other side, and sometimes it's a little problem picking it up, but I was lucky, picked it up right away, and we're just about ready to go again. In fact, I may be able to show you the process of the auto guide or recalibrating. Yes, you can see this yellow line here with the little box. There's a star in there, and what the software is doing now is it's moving that star very slightly up and down, up north and then south, backward, and it's reading irregularities in the mount. And when that turns green, all of a sudden those yellow specks, or the cross, the yellow cross, it'll turn green, and that means the guiding is finished calibrating. And you're off and running. You go back to your imaging and you start your images. And this is what allows me to walk away from the telescope once those lines turn green, and I go back to my imaging. I can walk away and let this thing go for hours on end. Some guys have them automated so they can sleep for the whole night, and everything is automated. To me, it's nice, but are you really doing astronomy while you're sleeping in bed? I kind of like getting out and being by my equipment once in a while, as it's going through its process. So we're getting close. Let me see. It's reading 16.2, headed back on the north. I don't want to make this video too long, but I'd like to have you see that turn green, indicating that we're ready to go. on the guiding. It's still going back up the other way. So anyway, we'll get back over to the software for the imaging, and we will be off and imaging very shortly. Put this back in, let's see, we'll put this back in the fine mode, and we'll be ready to start imaging. It's kind of tough to see everything when I'm in here. It should start looping on its own. There it goes. Now you can see that there's the galaxy. These are just 2-second quick exposures, so you can line everything up. Once all the guiding is set in, I will restart the imaging, and the image of that galaxy will build just like it did before. So that's where I am now, guys. I'll be starting the red image, and I did an hour, 20 minutes in luminous. I'd like to get at least 45 minutes in red, 45 green, 45 to an hour in blue to complete this image. So it's going to be a long night. Hopefully it'll be a very successful image in the end. Take care, guys.